You're the Terrifics. You make BeTerrific special. Welcome back to a special edition of the Michael Artson Show just for you. We're in Brooklyn, New York. I wouldn't go to Brooklyn for just anybody. I mean, this is Get Geeked, but I came to Brooklyn just for you, the Terrifics, because it was up to me. I'd be back in Jersey or somewhere else. Like even Manhattan. I love Manhattan. And the Mets are on tonight. Let's go Mets. They need it. Let's go. All the Terrifics at one time. Let's go Mets. Let's go Mets. They're down 2-1 to LA. Come on. Let's go Mets. All right. We got more action for you. More satisfaction. This is a lot of satisfaction because you know this company. It's a legendary company. You probably had one of their mini systems back in the day in your bedroom. I know I did. And of course, you've had cameras from them, all sorts of great technology from them over the years. And they are making a charge back, a really great resurgence. They were the first guys, by the way, to make a prosumer and consumer 4K camera. But going back, they were also the first guys to do a prosumer and consumer HD camera. And even if you go back before that, they were the first guys to make a mini DV camera for consumers. Do I know my stuff or do I know my stuff? I think they even made a 3D camera when that got hot for prosumers and consumers. I know my stuff, Lon, do I not? Lon from JVC is here.
Hi.
I love your stuff. You've got a couple of new cameras which are unbelievable. I played with them beforehand. First of all, you've got one that has micro 4/3 lens mount, but a Super 35 sensor.
Super 35 sensor.
HD SDI out and HDMI out, and it does 4K to memory cards, and it's not the it's an H.264, not an AVC HD or XAVC HD, which I hate. It's garbage format.
It's H.264.
Yes, thank you. All right, tell me about that camera first. We're going to get to this one in a minute.
So that camera is the GYLS 300 CHU.
Okay, can we talk about this? This is my only problem with JVC ever. Could you guys come up with easier names? Like, let's call it the Butterfly or something. Something I could remember, not the GYH3670 full metal jacket.
I think that's me. It's me and my team. I like to confuse the consumers.
I mean, because even if you make it like you know, other brands have like the 5D.
Right.
Right? Why am I on Wheel of Fortune?
I don't know.
Vanna, I'd like to buy a vowel.
I don't know, but
all right.
you know.
All right, we'll work on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so give it the model number again. They got to write it down. Give them a second. It's like remember back in the day, I'm telling you, we're going to give you the number to write down.
Right.
All right, so let them get a piece of paper and a pen.
GYLS 300.
Okay, so
forget everything else. Just that'll take you there.
All right. And I was going to do it like a cop. I was going to be like Glenda, Yarn. I don't remember the rest. I already forgot. Like Larry Nancy 300.
Your point is well taken.
Yes,
okay.
Anyway, okay.
Well, I'll get Craig or myself.
Tango Sierra. Did I hear a niner in there? All right.
We'll shorten the names. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. So then you've got that. And tell me about the camera.
So the camera was designed, as you said, with a micro 4/3 mount. It's an Olympus micro 4/3 mount.
What's great about that, by the way, you can put a speed booster on it from that company that makes such great Metabones. Thank you. I lost the name for a second. We have a couple of those. You put that on, you can then put EF mounts, you can put Nikon mounts, and also what's great is that you can also put these great micro 4/3 mounts, like we have a Vauclander 0.95. Where are you going to find a lens that does a 0.95? And you're putting that on a Super 35 sensor?
Super 35 sensor.
Mind-numbing.
So the idea was not to have a micro 4/3 sensor.
Thank you.
Not the right thing.
Can I say thank you?
Yeah.
Can I say thank you again?
Yeah.
Thank you.
The US and Japan engineering team and the European engineering team made sure Super 35.
I couldn't agree with you more. Enough with these pea-sized sensors. Okay, and then the camera, the best part about the camera is the price. It is $39.99, so under $4,000.
Under $4,000.
Under $4,000. Unbelievable. With SDI out.
Yeah.
Is there any other camera on the market, seriously, with SDI out that has that price point? I don't think that there is.
Maybe.
I can think of one, and it's a very prosumer camera.
Right. But not with a removable lens.
Right.
With
Exactly.
a Super 35.
Super 35 sensor.
So the idea is there's 10,000 lenses you can mount on this camera.
Wow. And here's the other part.
You can go anywhere you want.
You go out SDI or HDMI and you can record to an Atomos Ninja,
that's
Ninja Assassin, a Shogun,
say.
whatever you want. Let me ask you, what are the frame rates it'll do?
Oh, you got me.
I got you.
Yeah, it's late.
I bet you it'll go up to 120 frames a second. I just have a feeling it'll do 120, maybe even 240 at HD or 720, and I guarantee it does 24 and 30.
It does 24 and 30.
Yeah.
But it's
maybe 60.
Doesn't go up to 240.
It doesn't.
And today does not go to 120.
But it will.
You said it, I didn't.
Well, I already know. I know you can't say it, so I'm filling in the gap. It will. Firmware update. You see, you prefaced it by saying today.
There will be firmware updates.
You prefaced it by saying today.
Today.
It's when the cards get faster, probably.
Yeah.
I know. I know myself. 150 megabits per second it's going to read write?
It's going to be at either 70 megabits per second.
Pretty good, yeah.
Or 100 megabits, 150 megabits per second.
Yeah, excellent. All right. That's a great camera. Then you've got this gem. We got to get with JVC. We need this.
Yeah.
JVC.
Absolutely.
Our studio, everything. Yeah.
So that's the top of the line camera. All three cameras are the same basically.
Right.
So one has a removable lens,
which everybody wants these days, or a lot of people want. Yep.
Right. So then if you don't want a removable lens, if you want something a little bit less expensive, by the way, you said $39.95.
Yeah, $9.99, wasn't it?
It's $39.95. However,
yeah.
I think I'm going to be really good and throw in $500.
Are you really?
Yeah, I think so.
That's nice.
Yeah, coming up.
Are you serious?
I think so.
So it's going to be 30, 40?
Yeah, like next week or so, yeah.
Wow.
I think so, yeah.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
That's a great deal. I mean, I thought, that's how much my PD1, you ready? My Sony PD150 cost me $3,500, $34.95
right.
at B&H Photo. That was my first video camera that I ever owned.
Yep.
3-chip
I
CCD.
worked on that also.
You did?
I did.
Wow, that was my favorite. You know why that was my favorite ever? It still has such a good place in my heart. I started with an Ikegami 340, snorkel cable to a 3/4 deck, one-man band journalist with a microphone cable, Anton Bauer batteries, a Frezzi light. The whole thing ran for 11 minutes. The tapes lasted for 20. You carried a huge bag.
What a backache.
A run bag,
yeah.
the deck, the camera, the microphone, the tripod that weighed more than this entire tent.
Right.
Oh my God.
I'm there with you.
Can I interview you?
That's what I did.
Oh, the sweat's pouring down. I look like I'm Bernie Sanders, just missed my plane.
Yep.
I mean, it was awful. And then I get a shoulder mount, a DSR, PW, I think it was a PW 300, which I really wanted, but I got to use it at the station, and those were like 20 grand, and then I bought the PD150. And man, I took that everywhere. It was a workhorse. You could drive that into the ground.
That was an incredible camera.
Incredible.
Incredible.
And they took them to Iraq. NBC took them to Iraq, and they were like party favors. They just left them there.
Sure.
They were like, oh, they got them filled with sand and left them.
Yep, absolutely.
They were throwaways. To me, that was like, they were their throwaways, but they took a beating. All right, so this is perfect for run and gun.
So this is the GY HM 200.
200. Can I just remember JVC 200?
So 300, 200, 170.
Okay,
that's all you need to remember.
All right, 300, 200, 170.
Right.
Okay, and the cool part of going back is that the other one is going to be next week the price of what I paid for my PD150, but it's going to do 4K, not standard def.
2K or 4K.
Yeah.
Correct.
And not only UHD, but Cinema 4K.
Cinema 4K.
Wow, Lon, you're amazing. You're amazing, dude. Let me tell you something, brother.
It's got to be the right price to the customer market we're looking to go to.
I love it. I love it. So then this is the 200.
So the
Can
200
we just call them
is
the
a very
200, the 300,
camera.
the 200, and the 170? Let's just get rid of all those other funky letters.
Yeah, we could.
All right. I'm down with that.
We could, but at some point...
Be like Mercedes.
It's not my camera company.
You're the Mercedes, right? So be like Mercedes. Be like it's the SL300, you know? I don't know. Anyway, all right, so this is the 200.
So the 200 is the same camera basically, except it does not have a removable lens.
So it's great for a setting like this too, because you've got a fixed lens, probably a 20 times zoom, I'm imagining, something like that.
Unfortunately, it's a 12 times zoom.
That's good.
It's 12 times, yep.
12 times zoom, you can move around really good, you won't pick up the shake.
Nope.
Right? And it's got a stabilizer in it, I'm sure.
Yep.
But it's perfect for run and gun and situations like this.
Correct.
And it's good when you're handing
Look how light this thing is.
Wow. It's great for when you're handing it to interns too, because that's what MTV does with these. They're like, here you go, intern. You don't know how to shoot? Put it on all auto.
Good microphone, 90-minute battery.
Wow.
But the real killer feature here, which is on the 300 and the 200, is this camera streams.
It streams.
It streams.
We didn't talk about that. Well, this has SDI out as well and HDMI out, and it streams.
It streams.
Oh man, I see that.
So right there we're using a Wi-Fi adapter.
Yeah, through USB.
Well, it's through USB
to
and
catch.
it's streaming to a computer that's at our booth.
Wow.
So that's streaming.
We need to get with these.
Yeah.
This will be awesome. I want to use these for the Back in
you
Time
stream
premiere.
back, right.
We're going to be live from the Back in Time premiere. I just said it. That was a big surprise for tomorrow, but I guess I said it today. We'll be live from the Back in Time premiere. The guys who did the documentary on Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Adam and Andrea will be there. I'll be in Vegas. We're going to go from my coverage in Vegas of the FAA convention, boom, right to the Back in Time premiere.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Sounds
so
great.
this is awesome, and you can stream live from it. How much is this?
This is $24.95.
I thought you were going to say $29.95.
It was.
It's now $24.95.
Well, we're going to get there.
For the Terrifics.
Yeah, we're going to get there.
I love it. $24.95.
Yeah, but it gets better.
It gets. Oh, but wait, there's more.
I'm going to throw in $500 on this.
Another
too.
$500
on this too.
So it's going to be $19.95.
I think so.
Oh my God. Are you for real right now?
I'm for real.
Wow.
I'm for real.
Wow.
Because the camera, this is where the camera needs to live.
I like that. You know what? So it's interesting. There's a camera company that had me review a camera for them internally, and they asked me what the price point was, and I told them that it needed to be here at that price point for what it was, and they wanted to be at $4,500, and they had one that was higher, and I said it needed to be like in the $3,500 range,
right.
And they told me it was $9,000, and they weren't changing the price,
right.
And they didn't sell any. They've
right.
taken the camera off the market. And I got to tell you something, you've got the right camera, it's an amazing camera, packed with features, and you've got the right prices. That's unbelievable. Now, what's the 170? What's the deal?
So the 170 is basically the same, but it doesn't have streaming capability.
Okay. So just minus the streaming, which a lot of people don't need, or they have already encoders, or like here, we could use that for this setup particularly, because we can just go into the switcher and stream from there. Okay.
So, and it'll have a microphone, and it'll have a handle.
Okay.
And it didn't have a handle, it didn't have a microphone, but
now
we
it does.
decided it needed it.
I agree with that.
Right.
You know this business almost better than anybody. You've been in this business
a long time.
40 years.
About 38, yeah.
Yeah. I like that, man.
No gray hair.
Not at all.
And it's not colored.
It's amazing.
You don't have gray hair either?
I don't. Isn't that great? I never have to worry about that. That awkward, wait, am I gray? Am I not gray? And then people are like, you're older than you are. I went through that though. I went through I'm losing my hair and I look awkward, and it was like my awkward high school phase, and I kept wanting to shave it. And it took me a while to convince my wife.
It's good on you.
Thank you.
It
took me a while to convince my wife, and she didn't want me to do it, and I just did it. One day I realized it'll grow back. If she really hates it, she won't talk to me for 3 weeks, and then it'll be back.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. We do it for our wives.
And then she was like, you know what? That looks pretty good. What are you doing later? And I was like, I guess it worked.
Yeah, there you
Some
go.
guy in my building convinced me. He did. He has his head like this. And then another guy I was talking to on the phone who watched the show was like, yeah, you got to do it. And he told me, he worked me into how to do it. All right, so the 170 is how much?
Oh, that's going to be $19.95.
Are you gonna? But then it's going to be the same price as this.
Yeah, that would be really weird.
That would
right?
be weird, yeah.
Can't do that.
Uh-oh.
I think next week we'll put $500 on that too.
Wow, are you for real?
Yeah.
It's going to be $14.95.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's where it needs to live.
$14.95?
Yeah.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
For a really good professional camera.
Yeah. With
it's not consumer.
Huge sensor.
Yeah. No, that doesn't have a huge sensor.
Okay, that one has what size?
That's a 1/3 inch sensor.
That's a pretty big sensor. That's the same sensor that was in my PD150. I loved and talked about how great the image looked from.
Yep.
So then you've got, this has got the Super 35 though as well.
No.
This one has the 1/3.
Because remember, this is going to be fixed lens.
Okay, so this is the 1/3.
So really you don't need a Super 35.
Is this the 1/3 as well? Okay.
Same sensor.
That's a great sensor though.
Yeah.
So you got two 1/3 sensors and you got the Super 35.
Yeah.
Oh my God, great price points.
Good price points.
I love having the man on. You're the man.
Thank you.
I love having the man on
Thank you.
because you can make decisions. So what was the industry like when you started?
Well, it was black and white.
Was it really?
Yeah, and it was 2-inch.
I guess it was.
2-inch videotape that we cut with razor blades.
Did you ever dream it would be like today?
No.
That you'd be able to stream from a camera?
Nothing. I mean, cameras were $50,000, $60,000, $70,000.
Yeah, they were so expensive.
You had them on your shoulder.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that Ikegami was so expensive, and even that Sony, and then even my PD150 was expensive. And I mean, realistically, you're not going to do this broadcast quality, but to be able to stream off your phone, does that blow your mind?
It's pretty incredible.
It's pretty incredible.
The industry is, for me, I look back and where I started, and I was on the videotape side.
Yeah.
I came from the production side,
And there's
so I
no
used to go
videotape.
out and shoot. Yeah, where's videotape?
It's amazing. I never, I don't think an industry has changed as much as this.
Yeah, and
in
by
your-
the
in your
way,
time.
these are SDHC cards.
2 cards.
They're ubiquitous. I mean, they were inexpensive.
Buy them anywhere.
Yeah,
And that's
it's
it.
great
and
media.
It lasts longer than your
Yeah.
videotapes, and you can run them over them. Lon,
Is this
thank
cool?
you so much.
Thank
It is
you,
so
I really
cool.
appreciate it.
It's so good to have you on. It's so
Good.
great to talk to you off camera before the show,
Good.
and to catch up on history. We have some history
Yeah, we
together.
do.
You probably met me when I was 10.
Maybe.
The truth is,
It's
you probably
possible.
did.
And your dad did some great stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
he
you.
really
But
did.
yeah, we have some history together. All right,
Really
we'll be
was.
back with a whole lot more right after this. This is a special edition of Michael Arts Show from the Brooklyn Expo Center in Brooklyn, New York. This is Get Geeked. You are the Terrifics. You make BeTerrific special, and that is JVC. You gotta check them out. They're unbelievable. We'll be back right after this. Don't go anywhere.